I haven't seen a steam locomotive in full operation in a very long time. So it was a blessing to witness the Canadian Pacific Railway H-1B class 464 Hudson number 2816, known by many as the Empress, run through Minnesota. It's the only operating 464 in North America and is generally regarded as a beautiful steam locomotive. Built in year 1930 by the Montreal Locomotive Works, or MLW for short, the 2816 was constructed for special passenger trains in the province of Ontario, though was demoted to secondary passenger trains due to newer engines. Fun fact, in 1957, her tender was traded with CP 2822. 2816 still carries this tender today. Like many other steam locomotives that were of Canadian ownership, for example CN, GTW, etc., 2816 was retired late in the years of the start of dieselization, specifically in 1960. After being purchased by F. Nelson Blount for his Vermont-based rare memorabilia collection, 2816 sat on display in the States before the Canadian Pacific bought her in 1998 and restored her in 2001 back over in Canada. From that year to 2012, 2816 hauled excursions throughout the Canadian Pacific System in Canada and in North America, such as Minnesota. After 2012 and until last year in 2023, 2816 sat on display due to a repeat of David R. Good without justification. Thankfully, after some test runs in 2023, the Canadian Pacific 2816 was confirmed for the operation of the Canadian Pacific Kansas City's final Spike Tour. It would be a tour that would run from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, through America to Mexico City and back. On the way, it would make an appearance in Minnesota at the St. Paul Union Depot, of course. I was thankfully able to see this appearance, which was scheduled for May 3rd to May 5th. Let's take a look at this amazing event and my experience at the St. Paul Union Depot viewing 2816. It took 30 minutes to get from my house to the Union Depot to see the station and the venue. At the venue was this: the pint-sized puffer belly, a miniature ride that I decided to take. That whole fiasco would actually occur later, but for now I decided I wanted to see the engine up close. First came this boxcar, which is like Nickel Plate Road 587's 2 of cars that carry parts for the engine. I think. It could be for something else. In front were 2 F units, numbers 1401 and 4107. This shows 4107, an EMD FP9A built in 1957 for, ironically, the Canadian National at 6526. Oh well, we'll come back to 1401 in a bit. But first, here's 2816. The main star. And now here's the part where I come clean about something. The whole time I was on edge due to the fact that 2816 was in steam and occasionally blowing her whistle. Yes, I am a baby, but have heard a standard horn from BNSF 7239, which wasn't loud at all. Still though, I had earplugs. Oh, and before I forget, I should probably mention the horde of people all around the engine, some of which I don't even know if they knew what they were doing there. It was all very unnerving and uncomfortable, something I never felt again at places like the Lake Superior Railroad Museum, or even the Jackson Street Roundhouse. Oh well, what can you do? These people came to see a steam locomotive that's going to travel across the entire North American continent. Never mind, just look at this handsome guy in front of 2816. Yep, that's me. Back to the F units, here's 1401, also an FP9A, originally built in 1958 for the CN, this time as 6541. I then took a video analyzing the F units. Of course people got in the way. Why wouldn't they? Anyway, I took pictures of the F units together, the mysterious boxcar, and the cab of the locomotive. Just kidding. It was actually just a little fun cutout. After checking out the venue, it was time to ride the pint-sized puffer belly. Long story short, it was eventful.
Oh my goodness. Ow. Dang it. No. We're currently on the puffer belly. It rides a bit rough considering our rails are grass. I bet the Central would offer a better ride. 29. Don't know what that means. Obviously something symbolic. Best wheels made by Baldwin. Literal tires. We're coming into the end of the ride, but yes, as you can see, historic Canadian Pacific coaches going all the way into Mexico along KCS lines because of CPKC. Rock Island ride, the Rock Island line is a mighty good road. It's the road to ride. Unless it's this. Oh, we're coming to the end of the journey. Alright, this was good. Kind of.
This would turn out to not be the end of the journey. However, we'd cross that bridge when we got to it. 2 hours from my home is historic Hastings, a city with a heritage of shipping and milling industries. It also has an equally historic vertical lift bridge built by the Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Paul and Pacific Railroad, better known as the Milwaukee Road. The bridge was built in 1981 and has carried the Milwaukee Road, Canadian Pacific Railway, and Amtrak. It is now owned by CPKC, which uses the bridge for both their freight trains and Amtrak's Empire Builder, as well as some of Amtrak's other trains. As it turned out, the 2816 would be passing over the bridge to head out to Franklin Park, Illinois. The movement was scheduled for May 5th, something I'd actually be able to witness. Once I got there, I had my picture taken next to the bridge. You can clearly see the water underneath. That water is a part of the Mississippi River. I was told I'd have to wait a bit for the run-by to occur. By a bit, though, I mean in hours. No matter, as soon enough, I caught a regularly ordered manifest, led by CPKC number 8113.
Here he comes.
A rebuilt AC 4400 CWM. Facing backwards was CPKC 9720, a standard AC 4400 CW, acting as a TPU. Now that was cool. After that, I was told that the 2816 would be heading over the bridge after an Amtrak train got out of the way. It took a bit, but soon it got on the move. Now, I wasn't sure if it was the Empire Builder or not, because I thought the bridge carried other Amtrak trains too. Led by Amtrak ALC 42 Charger 338 with 331 trailing, as it turned out, it was the Empire Builder. To pass the time, I decided to take a photo of the Milwaukee Road logo on the bridge. You can tell by the fades the bridge has been in use for a while. Finally, however, I heard a faint exhaust beat in the distance. I'm fairly certain you know what's coming next.
You got it?
Yeah.
God dang it. Put on my headphones. Alright. Here she comes.
That's right. After years of being basically dormant in terms of seeing a steam locomotive run, I finally saw one. I want to thank my mother for driving me 2 hours to see 2816 cross the Hastings Rail Bridge. So, to sum things up, Canadian Pacific Kansas City did a huge favor for rail preservation by running a literal cross-continent tour. Even if it did fall flat on its face upon reaching Mexico, it's still a huge blessing we got it in the first place. In fact, I'd say CPKC is now my favorite railroad behind BNSF. I don't know why, I just felt like I needed to say that. Anyways, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has viewed and enjoyed the video. It'd mean a lot to me if you subscribed. I've got a lot more content planned, and if you'd like to see the journey yourself, consider turning the notification bell on for news on brand new videos. If you enjoyed the video, don't be afraid to show your support through dropping a like or writing a civil comment. And with all that out of the way, once again, thank you, and see you, hopefully, next time.